This is a mayfly. It spent up to 2 years as a larva underwater, growing. Then it became an adult, grew wings, found a mate, and within 24 hours, it was dead. It wasn't an accident. It didn't get eaten by a predator. Its body was simply built to switch off, on a schedule, almost the moment its job was done. And here's the strange part. Every living thing you have ever met, including you, is running some version of that same schedule. So why does death exist at all? Why didn't evolution just not bother with it? The easy explanation goes like this. Things wear out. Stuff breaks down over time. Death is just entropy catching up with biology. Like a toaster, eventually the parts fail. Except that doesn't hold up. There's a creature called the HYDRA that, as far as anyone can tell, doesn't age at all. Cut it in half, and each half can regrow into a whole new HYDRA. Some lab colonies have been kept alive for decades without a single one dying of old age. There's also a jellyfish that, under stress, can essentially reverse its own development and become young again. Scientists nicknamed it the immortal jellyfish, which is a slight exaggeration, but only a slight one. So wearing out isn't the law of biology. It's a choice biology makes, over and over, independently, in species after species. Which means the real question isn't, why do things break down? It's, why would evolution build something that breaks down on purpose? Here's the thing nobody tells you about your body. It has a budget, a finite amount of energy every single day, and decisions to make about where that energy goes. Repairing DNA damage, replacing worn-out cells, maintaining tissue, that all costs energy. So does finding food, finding a mate, and raising offspring. Evolution doesn't care about you specifically living a long time. It only cares about genes getting passed on. So if an animal can spend a little less on long-term repair and a little more on reproducing right now, and that trade-off helps more babies survive, evolution will quietly take that deal every time. This idea even has a name. Biologists call it the disposable soma theory. Your body, the soma, is essentially a temporary vehicle. Expensive to maintain forever. Cheap to let wear out once it's done its job of carrying your genes into the next generation. You weren't built to last. You were built to deliver. This is also why the mayfly doesn't bother building a long-lasting body. Its larval stage already faces brutal odds. Fish, birds, the current. By the time it becomes an adult, the smartest strategy its genes can run is, don't waste energy on durability. Spend everything on reproducing immediately, then step aside. Compare that to the Greenland shark, which can live for centuries in cold, safe, predator-light deep water. Different risks, different math, completely different lifespan. Built by the exact same evolutionary logic, just pointed in opposite directions. Lifespan isn't a fixed setting. It's a dial. And evolution turns it based on how dangerous your world is, not how advanced you are. Which brings us back to the HYDRA. If everything is a trade-off between repair and reproduction, how does it get both? The HYDRA's secret is that almost its entire body is made of constantly dividing stem cells. Cells that just keep replacing themselves indefinitely. It doesn't need a separate maintenance budget because renewal basically is its existence. It's less like a creature aging gracefully and more like a structure perpetually rebuilding itself out of fresh materials. Humans don't get that deal. Many of our most important cells, heart cells, neurons, and the cells in the lens of your eye, are made once, early on, and have to last you a lifetime with very limited replacement. Brilliant engineering if you only needed it to work for a few decades. Here's where it gets genuinely exciting. Once you understand aging as a trade-off rather than an unbreakable law, you start asking a very different question. Could the trade-off be renegotiated? Researchers are already exploring drugs that clear out senescent cells, old malfunctioning cells that build up and cause damage as we age, in mice with promising early results. Others are studying the genes behind that immortal jellyfish, or the unique cancer-resistant biology of long-lived whales, looking for tricks evolution already discovered, just in different bodies. None of this means we're close to ending aging. We're not. But it does mean something quietly remarkable. Death was never a law of biology. It was a decision, made differently by every species under different pressures. And the species that figures out how to renegotiate that decision might be the one telling this story differently 100 years from now.